What's going on, guys? gtaonline here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to show you can use vehicle cargo to make millions solo in GTA Online, so let's get into it. So obviously, to run vehicle cargo, you'll need a office and then a vehicle cargo warehouse. So obviously, with office, you can access the computer to then buy a warehouse. Now, in my opinion, the best location is going to be right here where I have mine at the Marriott Heights. It's the most expensive at around 2.8 million, but it's right next to the highway, meaning you'll easily be able to reach your destination, like selling, very easily. Now, if you don't have a lot of money, you might as well just go with the cheapest one right here. It's 1.5 mil. It is in a gang area. However, as long as you don't shoot in the gang area, you won't get the gang aggravated at you. Sometimes the NPCs will shoot and that'll get you aggravated, but realistically, by the time you're in that area, you're basically at the warehouse. So this one is the best if you don't have a lot of money. If you have a lot of money, you can go here. Now you could also go in one of these areas if you prefer. I'm not going to say no, but personally for me, I prefer this one. Now let's talk about sourcing vehicles. Now when you have a warehouse, you can click on source vehicle and you will get either a standard range, a mid-range, or a top range. Now there's a way to get only the top range, which is the only one we're interested in, but I'll show you how to do that when we talk about selling. So we're going to go to the warehouse and we'll talk about selling. So now let's talk about how to sell cars. So after you bring a car to your warehouse, you'll be able to access this Ad Hoc Autos laptop. When you access this, it'll give you a list of all the cars you have and an export option. Now, I want to talk really quick about the three ranges. We have standard range, mid-range, and top range. Now, obviously, top range are going to sell for the most, so that's the only ones we want to sell. But we also have to make sure that we only source top range. The way you do this is by sourcing 10 standard range. I have 11, but don't worry about that. And 10 mid-range vehicles. That way it only gives you top range. Now you also want to make sure you don't go above 30 vehicles. If you go above 30, it'll go back to like it is normally where it gives you one of the three. But if you stay between 20 and 30, keeping the 10 standard and 10 mid-range, you'll only get top range. So now when you want to sell, you click this export button after selecting the vehicles you want to sell, and you'll have three options. We always want to go with the specialist dealer because it's going to allow us to modify our car, but it's going to double the profit we make on the commission. So you'll simply click on this and it'll tell you like you got to pay 20k to modify, but you'll be paid 100k on delivery. We click confirm. Now when you modify, it doesn't really matter what you do. You can modify it in any way you want. I'll just make mine matte black. And then, wheel types, we'll just go with like, whatever, and then good. Now, here's the deal. When you sell, all you gotta do is drive to the, drop off for the person who's buying it or whatever. But you need to make sure if you're selling in a solo lobby, such as I am, where it's just you and maybe your CEO. I'm trying to show you guys, but I can't currently. So like I said, selling in a solo lobby, you gotta watch out because they will send NPCs after you to try and damage your car. However, we don't want that, so we're gonna make sure the NPCs come to us first and eliminate them. There's gonna be 4 waves, and so we're gonna take them out, and then once we take out the 4 waves of NPCs, we'll be able to simply deliver the car without having to worry about getting shot. So there they are, they spawn around here from this warehouse. Now I'm gonna work on taking them out. I have an explosive sniper, which I think is the easiest way, because you can just tap their cars and they'll go down. So, all we're going to do now is simply wait for more to show up. What I like to do is I kind of stand near the car sometimes. It gets them to spawn a little quicker. Then, once they spawn, I'm going to come over here and I'm simply going to wait for them to appear. And then I'm going to destroy their vehicles to eliminate them. Missed a shot there, but it's all good. So, there we go. That's 2 waves. I'm going to again run back to the car to try to get more to spawn. Sometimes if you sit in the car, it'll force them to spawn, but normally getting close to the car is enough. So now we're simply going to wait for them again. 1 and 2. Now there's 1 more wave, so again I'm going to go back to the car. I'm going to sit in it this time. Maybe drive it a little bit. There we go, they spawned in. So we're going to again do the same thing here. I do recommend having an explosive sniper, by the way. A railgun works, but explosive sniper is the best because it's the quickest. But for some reason they're stopping like below the hill here. Anyways, we'll go ahead and eliminate them. Now that we've done that, we don't have to worry about them anymore. Now, obviously, I would park your car where I did. Obviously, as you can see, the fire likes to spread. Can I get in, please? Anyways, though, now that we took out the 4 waves, we don't have to worry about more spawning. As you can see, I'm now driving and none of them have spawned. So I'm just going to simply go ahead and deliver this and I'll get paid my 100k. Well, 100k as long as I don't crash.
I'm taking the moment, starting all over. Wanna be free and live my own life in a new galaxy. I live my own life in a new galaxy.
Alright, so here we are at the drop off. I didn't crash thankfully, so I'll still get my full payment. Even if you crash, you won't lose too much money if it's not a bad crash. Anyways, so we're gonna go ahead and deliver it, and now we'll get our payment. Obviously, market value loss $0, no commission loss, so I get paid 100,000. And that's all there is to it. Obviously, I didn't show you guys the source missions, but I don't want this video to be like an hour long, so I just show you the solo sell mission. Now, you can sell a vehicle every 15 minutes, so you have to wait a little cooldown, but you can source like 1 or 2 vehicles in between the cooldown, and then, you know, go ahead and export it again. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. I've done nearly 1,000 vehicle source missions and made somewhere like 84 million off this. So it's a great business. And yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video. If you guys found it enjoyable, helpful, please leave a like. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike. Subscribe for more content. Remember, I have a Discord server you can join if you have any questions you want to ask me. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.